"Mommy, why is your tummy so squishy?" said the 4-year-old daughter. "Your next stroke may kill you," said the doctor. "I can't take this anymore. I'm taking the kids and we're leaving," said the husband. After hearing these shocking, heartbreaking comments, it was like a thunderbolt struck her through the neck. She felt hurt, worthless, unimportant. And after a long, hard look in the mirror, a sense of not belonging fell upon her. She didn't want to try anymore, and finally came to the realization that it was time to give up. She rushed down the stairs into her garage and got into her car with nothing but the thought of committing suicide running through her mind, until a call from her brother saved her life and led to the biggest breakthrough in the health and weight loss industry. A breakthrough that led a 47-year-old overweight mother of 2 named Amy, who had heart problems, type 2 diabetes, and even suffered a stroke, to miraculously lose 2 pounds of belly fat overnight, and then lose 11 pounds of fat over a week. And in less than 6 weeks, she lost 52 pounds and became symptom-free of type 2 diabetes and other potential life-threatening diseases. She didn't starve herself to lose all the weight or go on one of those overhyped diets or joint-busting fitness programs you see on infomercials. And if you think she touched one supplement, guess again. All Amy did was use this one breakthrough overnight trick before going to bed every day. And within the next morning, she immediately noticed that her stomach was flatter and her waist was much slimmer than the day before. And that was only after one night. Every night, the results continued. She woke up with more energy every morning, so much that she bounced out of bed like a kid on Christmas morning to get on the scale to see herself lose more and more weight every single day. And eventually her life was saved, and Amy became a proud role model to her 2 beautiful children. So how do I know all this? My name is Andrew, and I am the brother that called Amy when she was in the car, wanting to commit suicide. And in a moment, I'll tell you how I came by this flat belly overnight trick to help save my sister's life and get rid of her unhealthy stomach fat that haunted her since she had her first child. But first, you need to know why Amy became obese with a BMI score of over 35 and had type 2 diabetes, which eventually led to a stroke that tore our family apart. You see, all this started because Amy was unaware of the death-like side effects of having belly fat. If you currently have any belly fat sitting in front of your stomach right now, you can be at risk of potential life-threatening diseases and not even know it. Just like it did for my sister, and she didn't even have the slightest hint. When Amy reached the age of 40, things started to make a turn for the worse. After falling victim to the countless lies from the diet and weight loss industry, she ended up in a downward spiral of continuously gaining weight. Week after week, her belly got larger and larger, and at the same time, her body was aging far beyond her actual age. And she eventually had type 2 diabetes that she never knew she could get because it never ran in our family. She didn't even know that having excess belly fat could cause all these life-threatening diseases such as heart disease, Alzheimer's, diabetes, and even cancer. Plus, many more chronic diseases that can be absolutely fatal to your health. Unfortunately, Amy was one of the 36% of people in North America who are obese and have a significant amount of fat around their stomach and waist. All because she fell victim to the ridiculous gimmicks from the health and weight loss industry. Some of these gimmicks include cutting back on your calories in order to lose weight, which is the worst thing you can do after the age of 40. Your body will not be able to burn off fat after you've cut down on the energy that your body desperately needs. Listen, your metabolism is slowly diminishing as you age. And if you're eating less just so you can lose weight, your body will hold on to as much fat as possible, especially around your stomach and waist. My sister fell for this trap, and her stomach fat only became more noticeable. What's just as bad? Going on a low-carb diet or avoiding carbs altogether, which can actually increase your risk of having a heart attack due to the rapid increase this causes in your heart palpitations. I'll also reveal the latest research on the #1 fat-storing hormone that is injected into the fruits and vegetables you think is healthy for you, and how it's actually creating inflammation due to the toxins it's producing in your stomach, making it next to impossible to burn off belly fat. If you ever had trouble losing weight in the past, it's most likely because your body is producing large amounts of this sneaky fat-storing hormone and you don't even know it. You'll get all the latest cutting-edge information and scientific research why you should avoid these ridiculous weight loss gimmicks in Amy's story. You see, all this led to Amy having excess belly fat that continued to accumulate by the day. Not knowing that excess belly fat is the absolute #1 indicator of your health is a big mistake and should seriously be addressed. But Amy didn't know that. She didn't even know that she had type 2 diabetes until she had her first stroke. Our family was torn apart from this tragic accident. And if you have even 1 ounce of belly fat, Amy's powerful story will change your life, and it will change the way you see your health. You could have the early signs of diabetes or heart disease and not even know it. But after you hear this story, you'll be shown the new cutting-edge flat belly overnight trick that you can use tonight before going to bed to instantly melt off 1 to 2 pounds of belly fat overnight and witness a noticeable change to your stomach the next morning. So make sure you listen to my sister's story to the very end, or you'll go to bed tonight missing out on the secret to really losing belly fat while you sleep. And instead of losing belly fat when you go to bed tonight, you might actually be gaining fat around your midsection, especially if you're trying to lower your food intake or cut down on your carbs to lose weight. Like I said, it's very important you listen to Amy's story very carefully so that you can start losing belly fat effortlessly while you sleep. And within just 7 days, your love handles will slowly vanish. Your lower back fat will diminish. Your joint pain will forever be gone when all that fat sitting around your midsection that's been adding unnecessary wear and tear to your joints will finally disappear. Your skin will look more vibrant and youthful. You'll notice a huge surge in your energy and sex drive. And best of all, you'll become risk-free of any potential life-threatening diseases such as type 2 diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, and many more. Just imagine waking up every morning and visually see your belly getting flatter and flatter. And in just a few short weeks, you will finally have the flat stomach and slim waist you've always desired. And you'll realize why everything you tried hasn't worked for you, especially if you're over the age of 40. This unique flat belly overnight trick does not require you to take a supplement, starve yourself, or go on one of those internet famous fasting diet plans. You won't even need to go to the gym or do one of those overhyped infomercial fitness products. Or worst of all, the joint-destroying high-intensity interval training sessions you see in boot camps that can possibly leave you injured for months. This never-before-seen trick can easily be performed by anyone of any age. And it even works better for men and women who are over 40 because of the specific hormonal change that occurs in your body after the age of 40. And you'll get the cutting-edge secrets to take advantage of this hormonal change so you can melt away belly fat faster than a 20-year-old. No other exercise or diet program takes advantage of this hormonal change because 90% of the programs on the internet are meant for younger people in their 20s. Today, you'll finally have the holy grail of rapidly losing belly fat overnight, especially if you've reached the age of 40, and you'll see how you can use this unique trick within Amy's story. Now, before I reveal this breakthrough trick and the powerful story of Amy's journey, I have to warn you about something. The weight loss industry is currently making a fortune off your current pain and suffering, feeding you lies that never treat the actual problem. Instead, they convince you to buy their next problem. I will reveal these lies to you in Amy's story. So make sure you listen and pay attention to Amy's story right now and not leave it off for later. These big weight loss companies are not going to like that I have this information on the internet due to the amount of money they'll be losing when everyone listening to this is going to completely ditch their bogus lies. Even big pharmaceutical companies are not going to like this information since the flat belly overnight trick has been proven to help remedy type 2 diabetes without using overpriced medication. But the number one thing that all these big companies are going to hate the most, how easy and simple this flat belly overnight trick is. You'll be astonished by how something so simple can be so effective, especially when you try it as soon as tonight. When you look in the mirror tomorrow morning, you'll be so surprised and overwhelmed that you'll think your own eyes are lying to you. You'll constantly have a smile on your face knowing you're getting noticeable results every day. You'll have a new glow of energy every morning, making you look and feel younger. Now, at first, I thought Amy's situation was special, like it was a miracle from God to save Amy's life, and that there was no way that this could be repeated for someone who just wants to get rid of that spare tire around their midsection. Until we finally released the breakthrough flat belly overnight trick in Amy's story on the internet, and transformation stories started rolling in by the thousands. It's been nothing short of incredible. Now check out Edmund's results. He lost 28 pounds in less than a month at the age of 62. He even messaged me saying he got to save money on a gym membership because he didn't even have to go to the gym once. He now has a completely flat stomach and the energy of a 20-year-old. Here's a transformation that'll blow you away. Martha lost almost 30 pounds at the age of 71. She's never been to a gym before, had no previous knowledge about diet or exercise. And all she did was the breakthrough fat belly overnight trick that you're about to see. Even Gary lost a whopping 47 pounds and turned his life around. He no longer spends hundreds of dollars on useless blood pressure or cholesterol medication and can now spend quality time with his loved ones. Now, here's what Ann says about the breakthrough flat belly overnight trick in Amy's powerful story. Hi, Andrew. I couldn't believe it. I lost 2 pounds by the next morning, and it hasn't even been 4 weeks yet, and I've already lost 33 pounds. Thank you so much for sharing Amy's touching story. I enjoyed every bit of it, especially the simple weight loss methods at the end. I will admit, I was skeptical at first, but I thought, why not give it a try for at least one day and see what happens the next morning, and wow! I wish I knew about this earlier in my life. I could have avoided my dreaded diabetic coma. But thanks to you, I no longer need my diabetic medication, and I can finally fit into my older dresses that I haven't worn since my late 20s. Thank you so much, Andrew. You've changed my life. These are just a few of the thousands of emails and stories that are flooding my inbox, and I'll share a few more with you in just a sec. First, you need to listen to me very carefully when I say this. It's not your fault you have excess belly fat or those annoying love handles. And your genetics isn't the reason why you carry all your weight around your midsection. With all the overhyped claims and empty promises that you see in the weight loss industry, it's no wonder it's harder than ever to lose weight and get in proper shape while big organizations rake in profits from these absurd claims. And you end up blaming yourself for not losing weight, or you probably think you lack the willpower, when in reality, you haven't made the progress you want because you weren't equipped with the right information. You see, these big organizations don't want you to see fast results. Instead, they want you to continue to buy their products and have you spending your hard-earned money that you just don't need to spend on their bogus information. If you were seeing noticeable progress every day, then I'm sure you'd be more than motivated to continue using the same method that's been working for you so well. So, are you ready to lose belly fat overnight? You're about to discover the flat belly overnight trick that you'll be able to use as soon as tonight. Like I mentioned before, my name is Andrew and I am Amy's younger brother. You see, I'm really no different than you. I've made many mistakes and like you, I've also fallen for the bogus lies from the weight loss industry. Ever since I can remember, I always wanted a washboard stomach, like you see with movie stars or professional athletes. And when I listened to some of the exercise techniques from the big shot fitness gurus, I ended up with a lower back injury. Some of these techniques included high-intensity interval training and performing high repetitions of sit-ups and ab crunch exercises. And within weeks, I was hardly able to move my spine. I had no visible abs at all to show for my efforts, and then I had to spend my hard-earned money with a chiropractor to help fix my lower back. Ever since that moment, I spent the next 10 years learning everything I could about the human body and to effectively lose fat, especially around the stomach region. I took cutting-edge methods from the highest regarded athletes in sports today, which are professional fighters, and that eventually got me involved in the sport. To this day, most people know me for being a kickboxing and boxing champion. And through these experiences in my competitive fighting career, I've learned the most exclusive secrets from the most fit professional athletes in the world. From the result of learning these cutting-edge secrets, I've had the honor of becoming one of the top personal trainers in my home city, Toronto, and changed the lives of many men and women through my effective fat loss methods that other trainers were oblivious to. Now, even though I transformed the most stubborn bodies from clients who thought they had the worst genetics, nothing prepared me for what Amy was going through. In Amy's situation, we had to lose fat incredibly fast because of the life or death situation we were left with. And then the birth of the flat belly overnight trick came to be. We honestly stumbled upon a miracle, and now I have the humbling opportunity to share it with you right now. It all started when Amy had her first stroke. It was just like any other Monday morning. She was preparing her kids to go to school, and she noticed she had a headache that wouldn't go away. So she took an aspirin, thinking it was due to a bad night's sleep. After she prepared her daughter's and son's lunch in the kitchen, she started to feel numbness in her right hand. Again, she didn't think much of it and thought it would go away in a few minutes. After a few minutes go by, her whole right arm goes numb, and her leg soon follows. Due to the intense sensation of the numbness, she loses her balance and falls to the floor. No one was in the kitchen with her to see her fall. However, her husband Richard heard a loud crashing sound and rushed to the kitchen to see what just happened. Lo and behold, he found Amy struggling to pick herself off the floor. Richard immediately went to help stand her up, and as he crouched down, he noticed a blank stare in Amy's face. He asked her, "What's wrong?" It took a few seconds for her to reply. Amy, being the strong person that she is, just said, "Everything's fine," even though that wasn't the case. The kids soon came into the kitchen and started to get scared for their mother when they saw her struggling to pick herself back up. This is not something a mom wants for her children to feel. Richard soon stood Amy up and noticed she couldn't stand up straight. He asked her again, "Are you sure you're okay?" Amy finally admitted she couldn't feel her hand or leg. Richard immediately set her down and called the ambulance. As Amy sat there with a blank stare on her face, Richard was assuring the kids that everything was okay. There was nothing else he could have told them since he had no idea what was going on. After a few minutes passed by, the sound of the ambulance siren started to come closer. Finally, when the ambulance arrived, they rushed her to the emergency room. Richard took the kids, got into the car, and followed the ambulance to the hospital. Once Richard and the kids were in the emergency room, I got a call from Richard telling me what had just happened. 1,000 thoughts ran through my mind. I knew she didn't do her annual checkups, so I became frightened for my sister's life. I told my younger brother the story, and we both went off to the hospital right away to check on our sister. Once we arrived at the emergency room, I saw my sister lying on a stretcher with IVs in her arm. Her husband and kids were standing around Amy counting their blessings to see her alive. The kids' eyes looked puffy and red from crying. Thankfully, my sister was awake and fully alert. I immediately threw my arms around her and hugged her firmly. She told me she had a TIA, also known as a transient ischemic attack, which is a warning sign of a stroke. Some doctors call it a mini stroke. The doctor also told her if she were to have a full-blown hemorrhagic stroke, it will very likely end her life. Before I arrived, Amy had some blood work done as well as an MRI. We all patiently waited for the results to come in. As I sit there, waiting for the doctor, I thought about all the good times we've had growing up, and the thought of her potentially leaving my life was heartbreaking. The statistics for a TIA is very alarming. 1/3 of people who have a TIA usually end up having a hemorrhagic stroke within a year, which will either end her life or have a small chance of surviving with brain damage and a permanent disability. It was hard to accept these facts. After a few moments go by, the doctor finally came in with the test results. He looked at my sister and then looked down at his clipboard as if he was trying to find something to say. I was starting to get nervous and restless like a cat on hot bricks. The doctor went on to say that no damage had occurred to the brain and no blood vessels were ruptured. It was in fact a TIA. And then he proceeded to the bad news. Now, there were some alarming issues that we came across. Your blood pressure is 160/100, which is in the territories of hypertension, and your LDL cholesterol levels are well over 200 milligrams per deciliter, and this is also way above normal range. We also tested your blood sugar, and based on these readings, you have type 2 diabetes. All of us were in shock when these words came out of the doctor's mouth, especially when he said that my sister had type 2 diabetes. My sister had no clue about this, and it scared us all. The doctor also said, "I'm going to prescribe medication to prevent blood clots for you so you don't have a potential hemorrhagic stroke. If you don't take this medication, your next stroke may kill you." These words hit us like a ton of bricks. But the look on my sister's face was of pure devastation. I could only imagine what was going on through her mind. Well, the doctor gave her the prescription slip and scheduled an appointment for my sister and told us we could go now. The next month proceeded to be the worst month of my sister's life. Every morning she would prepare her kids for breakfast and break into tears, thinking if she would be around to see her kids grow up and finish school, if she'll attend her kids' graduation, or even worse, show up in a wheelchair while having her kids take care of her, bathe her, and do simple tasks for her like brushing her teeth and putting food in her mouth. These thoughts devastated her. Now, my sister always had an issue with her weight, but this has to be the worst she's ever been. Old clothes couldn't fit her anymore. Her stomach and waist were getting much larger every passing week as she tried to diet to the weight off. I've personally been noticing her wear sweats all the time as well as looser clothing. Have you ever done this before to hide your embarrassing weight gain you've been experiencing? I can imagine what you're going through. You see, it's not your fault. My sister followed the usual advice from popular fitness experts you see on infomercials and the online gurus who aren't even qualified to be giving you this type of information. The worst of this advice was cutting back on calories, which completely backfired on my sister, causing her to store fat around her stomach and waist. Like I mentioned before, this is the worst thing you can do to your body after the age of 40. And I'll explain exactly what happened to my sister when she followed this advice in just a moment. First, you need to know the second worst thing you're doing to your body after the age of 40, which is high-intensity interval training. Doing this type of training will completely tear apart your joints and cause all sorts of inflammation throughout your body. And you won't even effectively get rid of the fat your body's holding on to. Now here's something else that makes the process of losing belly fat next to impossible, and it's a hidden issue that you would never think of. The fruits and vegetables you are consuming right now are sabotaging your progress by decreasing your fat-burning hormones and causing your levels of cortisol to rise, which makes your body store and hold on to fat rather than burning it off. You see, those fruits and vegetables you think are healthy are actually injected with toxic pesticides that hold onto fat cells sitting in your stomach. As you continue to consume these toxic pesticides, it will eventually cause inflammation, making your master fat loss hormone leptin to decrease, causing weight gain. And as you gain weight, you create more inflammation, which then turns into an endless cycle of more weight gain and more inflammation. If you're currently doing anything I just mentioned, you'll make the process of burning off belly fat next to impossible, and you'll be at risk for type 2 diabetes, increased blood pressure, cholesterol, and hypertension, which can lead to a heart attack or a life-ending stroke. I know that's something you obviously don't want, and I definitely don't want that for you. Now, let me tell you the pivotal moment when my sister Amy decided to make a change, and how the flat belly overnight trick came to be because of it. It was 6 o'clock at night. Amy was upstairs in her room lying in her bed. The most disturbing thoughts ran through her mind. Thoughts like, how can she bear the feeling of her kids looking up to her with a disability? Or even the possibility of never seeing her kids again. Being trapped in a health institute just to have a nurse take care of her for the rest of her life. How can she live with that? She got up and took a long, hard look in the mirror right next to her bed. Hurtful thoughts continued to consume her mind. Finally, she hit a mental switch and decided that she couldn't suffer through this pain any longer. With tears running down her face, she rushed down the stairs from her room and got into her car. As she sat behind the wheel with her teeth clenched and a fierce grip around the steering wheel, the phone started to ring. Someone was calling her. That someone was me. I was just checking up on her to see how she was. And when she answered, she didn't even say one word. Instead, all I heard was sobbing and weeping, and then I asked her, "What's wrong?" She replied with a, "I can't do this anymore." And she went on to share that her husband wants to leave with the kids. My heart dropped to the floor. I asked her why. She told me her husband didn't want to put the kids through the pain and suffering of seeing their mom so sick with such poor health. I asked her what the kids thought about this. She started to break down and cry even more. There was another thought on Amy's mind that was troubling her. She told me her 4-year-old daughter squished her stomach and said, "Mommy, why is your tummy so squishy?" As soon as Amy told me this, all I heard was more weeping. I always knew my sister wasn't happy about her weight, but I never knew it affected her this much. It controlled her emotions, and now it ruined her health and almost her life. Once my sister started to mention her weight, I immediately switched all the focus on this topic and how we can make a change. So I asked her what her workout regimen looked like. Amy ignored the question and gave me tons of excuses why she couldn't fit exercise into her schedule. She had no time to go to the gym, even if she did. It's a very intimidating environment. I said, okay, that's fine. How's your diet? That's the thing. I eat healthy food all the time, yet I see no change in my body at all. Nothing is making a difference. I asked her what she was eating, and she listed a typical week of her food intake. And I immediately had an aha moment. No wonder she had so much trouble losing weight, especially around her stomach. The inflammation around her stomach was holding on to fat, and when she had the produce from a typical grocery store, it caused her to hold on to that weight. Even worse, Amy couldn't lose weight because her metabolism was damaged to the point where her resting metabolic rate was less than someone who was 30 to 40 years older than she was. The reason her metabolism was at this point was because she started to cut calories and food from her diet, which, like I said before, is the worst thing you can do once you reach the age of 40. This combination made Amy store an abnormal amount of fat around her midsection, which then had huge negative impacts on her health. Now, I knew her metabolism was at a point of no return, and there was no way Amy was going to lose 1 pound a week and make progress the way we need to. The abdominal fat around her stomach needed to go, and it needed to go fast. So, I decided to do something that I've never done with a client before. I gave Amy my protocol on how us fighters lose so much weight before a fight. This is a secret that only professional fighters use to make their specific weight divisions. Movie stars have also adopted this protocol to lose a large amount of weight before a big movie role. I have personally lost 8 pounds in less than 24 hours using this protocol. Initially, I never gave this protocol out to any of my clients because I never thought that the average person's body could handle this protocol. I always thought that since us fighters were high-level athletes, that our bodies can easily recover. But drastic situations call for drastic measures. So in order to have Amy lose fat instead of water, I made a couple of changes to her diet that would allow this to happen. We timed her meals and switched out certain food groups so that we could take advantage of her fat-burning hormones. And I gave her a specific 3-minute sequence that Amy needed to do before going to bed to activate her abdominal muscles and accelerate the fat loss process around her belly. This sequence didn't involve any strenuous exercise and only needed 3 minutes out of her day. Now with those two elements in place, we were sure we can lose a ton of belly fat pretty fast. However, there was still a third element that needed to be addressed, which was all that built-up inflammation around her stomach from the toxins she consumed from foods that we thought were healthy. So, I gave her a small list of specific herbs and spices that she could consume before going to bed, which will eliminate the free radicals and toxins that are infiltrating your body and make the process of melting away belly fat a lot easier. As I was giving her all this information, Amy was writing everything I was saying down on paper and wanted to give this protocol a try before going to bed since it looked so simple and easy. She told me that it looked a little too good to be true. I reassured her to at least give it a try. I personally never thought about giving it to a client, since it's so unconventional to the typical dieting and training you see all over the weight loss industry, until Amy tried it that same day. And we witnessed the biggest breakthrough in the weight loss industry. By the next morning, she had immediately lost 2 pounds of fat and her belly was down a half an inch. She was blown away and thought it was a miracle. When she got on the phone with me again, she had so much joy in her voice, like she had hope again. After she bragged about her results in just one day, I felt happy for her. However, I was skeptical if it would continue to work, since this method is usually used to lose a lot of weight in a very short amount of time, and in this case, specifically target belly fat. I wasn't sure if the results would continue. Since Amy was so excited about her results in just one night and considering how easy and simple this protocol is, she was more motivated than ever to continue with the protocol. After a week passed by, Amy's results blew my mind. She lost 11 pounds of fat in just 1 week. How incredible is that? I passed by her house and I saw a noticeable difference. Her belly was clearly flatter and she looked amazing. She looked more youthful and energetic than ever. I was so excited for her. Her delightful smile instantly put a smile on my face. Her medical with the doctor was only a few weeks away, and she was so excited to see what she could accomplish in a few more weeks with this protocol. She kept following the simple outline I gave for her, the same herbal tea she took before going to bed, and the easy belly flattening exercises that don't even break a sweat and cause zero impact on your joints. And over the next few weeks, a miracle happened. Amy lost a whopping 52 pounds, and her stomach is now completely flat. Her waist is slimmer than ever and has absolutely not 1 ounce of visible fat around her midsection. She honestly looks better now at 47 years old than she looked in her 20s. And all this happened in less than 6 weeks. What's even more important than all that? There was a lot less stress in the household. There weren't any arguments between Amy and Richard. The kids were ecstatic to see their mother healthy, especially when she had so much more energy to play with her kids, when in the past she was way too tired and fatigued to do any sort of physical activities with them. She now has a better opportunity to spend more quality time with them and become the proud role model she always wanted to be for her kids. With all that said, the appointment with the doctor was fast approaching. Even though she knew her body changed miraculously, she was still nervous about what kind of test results she was going to hear from the doctor. I decided to go to the doctor's appointment with Amy to support her in this pivotal moment in her life. On a Friday afternoon, we arrived at the doctor's office. Both of us were more anxious than we needed to be for these results. After a long, dreaded hour in the waiting room, Amy was up next to see the doctor. As soon as the doctor saw Amy, his eyes widened while his jaw almost dropped to the floor. He couldn't believe it. The doctor immediately asked, "What happened? You look terrific." Amy shrugged her shoulders as if it was a piece of cake. The doctor proceeded to take Amy to the medical room to perform blood work. I remained in the waiting room. As I waited for Amy, I started to have flashbacks from the last visit where we found out that Amy was a type 2 diabetic and could potentially die, a time that I had no intention of revisiting and hoped that this was now all behind us. After Amy was finished, we both patiently waited for the test results, hoping for the best. Finally, the doctor came back with the test results. He was looking at his clipboard with a smile on his face, and then he looked up to say, "Congratulations! Your blood pressure is 112/72. Your LDL cholesterol is 90 milligrams per deciliter. Your blood sugar is now at normal levels. You no longer have type 2 diabetes, and you have the biological chemistry of a fit 20-year-old. All we could think of was, wow. These results far exceeded our expectations, and I've never been so proud of my sister than this moment right here. She not only saved her own life, she changed her life for the better and is now an inspiration to me and many people around the world. After witnessing the incredible, mind-blowing results that my sister experienced, I knew I had to get these simple-to-use, overnight belly-flattening principles in the hands of as many people as possible, specifically people who suffer from having unattractive fat around their midsection. Not only is it unattractive, your belly fat is slowly killing you and causing more health problems than you will ever realize. It is even aging your body and causing wear and tear on your joints that can easily lead to chronic injuries. And it's so important that you do something about it now before it's too late. The next thing you know, you can end up in the ER just like Amy did when this alarming issue goes unaddressed. This is not what I want for you. I want you to see your belly get flatter as soon as you wake up next morning. And then the morning after. And in just a few short weeks, you'll become symptom-free of any potential diseases with your dream midsection that you've always desired since you hit your late 30s. That is why I organized all these belly-flattening secrets into one easy-to-use, done-for-you template. You'll get the exact protocol you should use before you go to bed that will increase your metabolism and at the same time relax your body for a deep night's sleep. You'll also discover what kind of herbs you should add to your tea before going to bed, so that your body rids itself of the harmful toxins that is holding onto your belly fat, preventing you from melting it off. And most important of all, you'll have an easy-to-follow template that I've laid out for you, which will specifically tell you what kind of foods you should consume before you go to bed to ignite your metabolism so that you burn off fat while you sleep. There's absolutely no calorie counting at all. The formula that I laid out for you in this template will specifically boost your body's natural fat-burning hormones and capitalize the hormonal shift that happens in your body after you turn 40. You will never find a groundbreaking, cutting-edge template like this. When you add these simple fixes tonight, you'll easily burn off 1 to 2 pounds overnight while you sleep. Now, in order to really tighten and firm your stomach, I've created 3-minute sequences to effectively target your belly fat and firm your midsection. These sequences can be performed by anyone, even if you have a severe injury. I've personally had people in their 70s with low back and knee injuries perform these sequences, mostly because you're lying on your back most of the time, and you'll learn how to properly activate your core while engaging in a diaphragmatic breathing rhythm. This will involve more muscle groups around your midsection, increasing your metabolism to burn off belly fat, getting more oxygen in your cells, removing carbon dioxide that holds onto your fat cells, and even helps distress you, which fights off the fat-storing hormone cortisol. And you can accomplish all of that in less than 3 minutes a day. These methods have been so underutilized in the weight loss industry that it actually frustrates me. These sequences have also been proven by countless scientific studies to help with injuries, especially lower back injuries. Some of them included the research from the China Medical University and Utah State University. And both studies concluded that these specific core strengthening exercises reduce chronic low back pain. And it's so easy that a baby can do it. When you add these 3-minute sequences with the flat belly overnight template, you'll notice a significant difference to your stomach tomorrow. And when you keep following this done-for-you blueprint every day, you'll experience the fastest and easiest fat loss of your life. You will look and feel 10 years younger, have the midsection of your dreams, and become symptom-free of the life-threatening diseases that occur to millions of people every day. Just take a look at what this protocol did for Andrea. In her first week, she went down a full dress size, and in just 2 months, she lost 44 pounds and went from a dress size of 24 down to a size 12. Or Jared, who lost 26 pounds and has finally become alleviated of his chronic lower back pain because of the 3-minute belly flattening sequences. Or Janine and Kevin, who both lost a total of over 50 pounds a month before their wedding. Now, there's one more thing that I didn't mention that will make the process of getting rid of your belly fat for good so much easier. So easy that you can be bikini ready or beach ready in a matter of days. In order to leave no stone unturned, we need to address the inflammation that is sitting in your gut right now. So that is why I'm going to include the Flat Belly Overnight Detox Formula, where you'll flush out any harmful toxins from your body so that you can melt away your belly fat effortlessly and keep eating the food you love without it causing inflammation to your gut. This is the greatest insurance policy you can get your hands on. You'll get all the latest cutting-edge information on what spices you should add to your food so it doesn't cause inflammation, the miracle herbs you should add to your teas so that your stomach becomes completely free of those fat-storing toxins, and even the specific foods you should combine together to cleanse any free radicals or waste that may be lurking in your body. Not only will this formula erase belly fat incredibly fast, your skin will have a glow effect, and in just a matter of days, you'll look years younger while having a ton more energy than ever before. Your friends will be shocked by the look and feel of your skin. Any inflammation lingering in your body or stomach will diminish, and you'll be more immune to fight off sicknesses like the cold and flu. As you can see, there is nothing like the Flat Belly Overnight System on the planet. Not only will you literally see results tomorrow, you'll also completely change your life, become symptom-free of life-threatening diseases, look years younger, and become the happiest version of yourself. You can finally throw away those high-intensity workout DVDs that completely tear apart your joints. You won't have to starve yourself to see weight come off your body or deal with the portion-sized meals that leave you feeling hungry all the time. You won't have to pay hundreds of dollars to those overhyped infomercial gurus who just make you spend even more money on their equipment once they suck you into their program. However, right now, at this very moment, you'll finally be able to avoid the nonsense that the weight loss industry has been feeding you. No more inflammation leaking into your gut, no more hopelessness to lose the stubborn fat sitting around your midsection, no more diabetes medications or painkillers for your joint pain. Solve all these issues as soon as tonight. Feel the results for yourself right now. There's already been over 50,789 people witness an average of 1 to 2 pounds of belly fat loss per night for the short period of time that the Flat Belly Overnight Solution has been available on the internet. Now, because I want to put this into as many hands as possible, I'm going to let you in on a little secret that no other weight loss guru will ever tell you. I'll let you in on every single cost that it takes for me to produce this life-changing information for you. My web hosting cost $197. My distribution cost is $49.95, and a couple of other web development fees that cost over $99 a day. So, in order for this once-in-a-lifetime solution that includes the Flat Belly Overnight Template, the 3-minute belly flattening follow-along sequences, and the Flat Belly Overnight Detox Formula to not cost me a fortune to give away, I would need to charge $269 for the #1 belly fat loss solution you will ever find on the planet. This would save you money on any type of medication that you may be taking, or any money that you may be spending with a gym membership or even a personal trainer. And on top of that, for something that you can literally see results in progress every day, I'm sure you would consider $269 a complete steal. However, this isn't about money for me. So there's no way I'm going to charge you a solution like this for more than one of those infomercial workout programs that cost you $97, or a personal training session that would cost you just as much, if not more. What I am going to do for you will absolutely blow your mind. When you say yes to the Flat Belly Overnight System right now, you'll pay the extremely low price of just $67 to finally get rid of every single ounce of fat that is sitting around your stomach and finally enjoy your life from being symptom-free of life-threatening diseases while fitting into the dream dress you've been eyeing on or your favorite pair of pants that you couldn't fit into since your 20s. Now, before you jump on this, I want to make a deal with you. My goal is to get this into as many hands as possible and hear about your results. So I'm going to do you one better. I passionately want to hear about your results as soon as tomorrow. I want you to email me your progress tomorrow morning. So you're not going to pay the insanely discounted price of just $67. I'll give you this #1 belly fat loss solution for a one-time secure investment of just $37. Here's what you need to do so that you can start seeing results by tomorrow. Click the Add to Cart button below, and then you'll be taken to a secure order form page that looks like this. Once you've entered your information, you'll have the complete done-for-you solution to fast-track your belly fat loss in a way you've never experienced before. You'll get access to every component of the Flat Belly Overnight System, including the Flat Belly Overnight Template, the 3-minute belly flattening follow-along sequences, and the Flat Belly Overnight Detox Formula. And you can get access to all of this from your computer, smartphone, or tablet. Everything you will ever need to finally get rid of your belly fat is just a click of a button away. So take action right now, because I don't know how long this information will be up on the internet, especially at this low price. Now, I totally understand if you feel hesitant or you're skeptical if this really works. I'm going to put those worries aside right now. Telling you that this solution can make you lose belly fat overnight, I'm sure may sound a little far-fetched. So that is why I'm giving you a complete 60-day money-back, no questions asked guarantee. Simply put, if you don't see any results as soon as tomorrow morning, I even recommend that you get a refund. You see, I truly believe in this solution. And for you to believe in it too, you either need to see what I've personally seen or try this solution out for yourself. If you're not blown away like everyone else who's had their hands on this breakthrough information, just send me an email and I'll give you a full refund with no questions asked. I am more than comfortable to take all the risk here because I truly believe this will work for you. You now have absolutely no risk to see life-changing results as soon as tomorrow. Get started right now and apply the Flat Belly Overnight Solution tonight by clicking the Add to Cart button below. As you could probably tell, this opportunity is not like anything you've ever seen before. I'm sure you've seen or tried other weight loss products to get rid of your stomach fat, but how is that going for you right now? I'm sure you can definitely see more progress with a lot less effort. You see, it isn't your fault that you've experienced these misfortunes. You were just bombarded with false information that only halts your progress, causing you to hit a plateau fast, or even worse, slow down the progress over a long period of time so that you keep spending your money with these weekend certified fitness gurus with absolutely no qualifications to feed you the type of information you've been given. Right now, you have two choices to make. You can choose to go down the path you're on right now of more disappointment, frustration, weight gain around your midsection, which will lead to increased risk of alarming health issues like heart disease, stroke, Alzheimer's, hypertension, and your blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and BMI will only get higher as more fat accumulates around your stomach. You will feel more and more frustrated every morning when you look in the mirror to see your waist expand and your belly sticking out over your pants. Not only will this affect you, you'll place an emotional toll on your family and loved ones as they watch your weight and health get out of control. And you might just push them away, like what almost happened with my sister. Listen, it doesn't have to be this way. You can make the right choice today and wake up tomorrow morning with 2 pounds of noticeable fat off your belly. And every morning after that, you'll visibly notice your belly getting flatter and flatter every time you look in the mirror. You start the day more energetic than usual, which then results in a more productive day. And in a matter of days, your stomach will be noticeably flatter to your friends and family. Your skin will have a glow effect, and you'll look and feel 10 years younger with the energy of a 20-year-old. As you continue to progress, you'll become free of any diabetes medications or insulin shots, and you won't have to take any painkillers for your joints because of how easy the system is on your joints. Your metabolism will be working with you instead of against you, so that you effectively and efficiently burn off belly fat while you sleep. You'll get rid of the nasty toxins that infiltrate your intestines, which holds that fat to your belly. Your immune system will be at an all-time high, fighting off sicknesses and potential life-threatening diseases. There will be no stone unturned. You'll have every possible remedy to combat your belly fat so that you never hit a plateau and finally achieve your dream midsection faster than you ever realized. Now make the right choice and have the future you deserve. Click the Add to Cart button below this video and I'll see you on the other side. Still here? No worries. You might still have a few questions about the Flat Belly Overnight System, which is totally fine. So I'm just going to take a short moment to answer some of the most common questions I've received. Question: do I have to starve myself using this system? Answer: absolutely not. Starving yourself is the exact opposite of what you're going to do with this unique system. You see, starving yourself only leads to continued fat storage due to your metabolism crashing down and your hormones becoming out of whack. You will be enlightened and maybe even surprised by the foods you're allowed to eat, especially the amount. Question: does this work for men and women? Answer: yes, especially after you've reached the age of 40. Whether you're a male or a female, your body will produce the same amount of toxins in your stomach. With that in mind, this Flat Belly Overnight Solution addresses the commonalities in men and women alike, removing the nasty toxins in your stomach and boosting your metabolism to places it's never been before, even when you were 20. Question. I'm over 60 years old. Will this still work for me? Answer. Absolutely. This system can even work for you when you reach your 70s and even 80s. There will be absolutely zero stress on your joints in these belly flattening 3-minute sequences. And with the Flat Belly Overnight protocol in place, you'll look and feel years younger in a matter of days, making this system the best anti-aging solution you've ever seen. Question. What if I don't see my belly flatter by tomorrow morning? Answer. I am so confident you'll see results by as soon as tomorrow morning that I'm personally giving you a 100% money-back guarantee. There is absolutely no other exercise program or diet book in the world that will give you a guarantee like that. You have absolutely nothing to lose. You either get results or you pay nothing. Question. How long will this system be available for? Answer. Listen, a lot of these big infomercial companies, supplement companies, and even big pharmaceutical companies are not going to like that I have a solution like this on the internet, especially at such a low price like this where everyone can get their hands on it. And since they've made so much money off of your pain and suffering without even giving you a real solution, they can easily drop down a lawsuit, forcing me to take down this website, and you will no longer have the opportunity to get your hands on this exclusive information. So if you're ready to lose belly fat as soon as tomorrow morning and have the flat stomach you truly desire, you're going to have to act right now. Before I officially sign off, I want you to know that I will personally be there with you every step of the way. I am truly passionate about this unique approach to getting rid of belly fat incredibly fast. Make sure you tell me about your results tomorrow morning when you pick up the Flat Belly Overnight system. Click that Add to Cart button underneath this video screen and apply these methods today.